Hey everybody, Jay Neiman here from DealerTrack Titling Solutions. I lead the sales team for our titling solutions and also our F&I business, and I'm here today partnered with my good friend Liz Gunnan. Liz, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Jay. Hi, guys. I'm Liz Gunnan. I am our Director of Training and Account Management for DealerTrack's registration and titling. And I'm excited to be here. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, thanks, Liz. And from Liz and I both, we obviously hope that you and your families are safe and healthy, given the current times that we're at. And we're hoping that we're able to provide some good insights for you today. So, as you know, during the COVID pandemic here at DealerTrack, and especially on the sales side of the house and the account management side of the house on Liz's side, we've seen many, many dealerships quickly adopting the digital retailing practices and tactics that are out there. They're ensuring that they have tools where they can really start their deals online. And did you know that we've seen a 25% increase in the out-of-state buying activity when dealers are using these digital retailing tools? Interestingly enough, even in some of the recent data that's come out of DealerTrack's out-of-state reg and title information, is that we've had a 29% year-over-year lift during this same week period for out-of-state title transactions and registrations. All of this rapid growth means major complexity to the way you need to process deals, both for your finance teams and for your back office team. So focusing on these areas is the smart thing to do, right? Well, Liz and I surely do think so. We are hoping that today's talk can help you look for better ways to take care of your customer.
Great. So, Jay, can you set the stage regarding the technology shifts that we're seeing?
Sure, Liz. Interestingly enough, we're at 50% of our dealers right now are using some kind of digital retailing tool. And these digital tools are powering the car buyer journey more than ever, straight from the website, moving all the way to the finalization of the deal or delivering it, whether it be on-site or remotely, given today's circumstances. And dealers are seeing a 16% growth in out-of-state sales year over year. And COVID is just adding to that day by day and week by week. So my question to those watching, are you aware of your mix of customers? And is your back office set to handle that out-of-state customer volume increase? With those out-of-state deals, Liz and I's teams are speaking to dealers really often. And so those out-of-state deals, our customers have several kind of areas that they're focused on. They're mired with a wide variety of rules and regulations related to taxes, fees, vehicle categories, inspection requirements, exemptions, insurance regulations. The list goes on and on. For example, in the state of Colorado, they have different tax codes by county. So imagine if you're having to do an out-of-state deal, you're in a bordering state like Utah or Kansas, and trying to figure those taxes based on the county that the person lives in, it can be a real kind of sticky situation. And the other thing is that each state has its own set of required forms, and those forms are sometimes very hard to come by and hard to grasp from DMV websites. And that includes rules on who and when they can be signed. And some of these states have electronic, reg and title solutions, some being mandatory, some not. So knowing your own state's regulations and rules is one thing, but then knowing those border states is just another. So during that negotiation stage, when you're finalizing that deal on the F&I side, having a tool that can reliably provide guidance related to those out-of-state local taxes and fees is really important. Plus, the dealers need to ensure that they have proper forms when they're doing that reg and title. So, Liz, with these kind of first points in mind, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so let's dig into that just a little bit. And
Okay.
Really what we're seeing that many dealers are using a mix of electronic tools as well as manual processes to complete the paperwork. So as you mentioned, understanding that customer base is really key. What is that split between your in-state and your out-of-state transactions? How can we how is this complicated for you? And are you near a military base? Is there certain, situations that are going to bring more out-of-state buyers into your dealership? And understand how that finalized paperwork for the DMV is being handled. So does your back office know your state's registration and titling details, but it's close to impossible for anyone to know all of the ins and outs of the reg and title for all 50 states. So you mentioned Colorado earlier, and they are a very, very unique situation because they're very specific and they actually want to know like the street you live on. So it's one of those rare situations where they are very specific. And in Colorado, on one of my trips that I took out there to work with a dealer group, I encountered the most knowledgeable person I think I've ever come across in my years with DealerTrack. She had her own massive database where she had compiled all of this 50 state information. And what was incredible about this is though, even though she had massive amounts of knowledge on all 50 states that she shared with the team that she led to process those deals, is it would still take them an average of 2 hours to complete an out of state deal. So you think of the time savings, right? It is so complex. So not only were they doing all the things that they knew how to do and everything that they felt was right, and they were gathering all this information, it was still taking hours for them to complete that out of state deal. So really, what are your teams, what are they doing back and forth to complete that deal is really important for the process as well. So for those that are using the online tools, do the finance teams use the same or some of the technology that the back office uses to get the right deal? You want to make sure that you're on the same page. So does your desking tool provide taxes and fees that have that city, state, municipality that you can use to compare the tools and get customers into the right range?
Yeah, I mean, you bring up your client in Colorado. It sounds like there might be some proprietary information there that we should be looking to maybe buy at some point, right? I mean, because we have lots of customers that, it takes 4 hours. So if they can get it to 2, maybe she's got some software there she can build or put it in an app or something. But it's like once you talked about kind of getting to that final stage, and once that deal's been completed by finance and the deal's in the back office, there's kind of really 5 things that we would ask you to be on the lookout for. And number one is just look at your current process. You need something that's user friendly and simple that empowers your people to really get their work done. It needs to walk your team through the reg and title paperwork step by step. Your team shouldn't then have to pick up the phone and call the state DMVs. Tracking down paperwork. This type of research takes a long time, right? And then, number 2 thing we would ask you to do is just kind of, ability to do deal comparison on a city and state and even municipality level to ensure that the deal will still work for the customer. I mean, the worry here is that somebody buys off on a full price of the vehicle, or, even worse, probably payment buyer. They buy something, they get back to their state, they start to do the taxes and fees with the local government or municipality, and they realize maybe I can't afford this payment anymore. So that doesn't provide the best customer experience, right? The third area to consider is just proper documentation. Ensuring your back office has intuitive and state-specific checklists. Like Liz was talking about earlier, she has a customer that has that, and they've been tracking that down for years. It'd be nice to just have that at your fingertips all the time, right, for every state around you. And number 4 is kind of steps on what customer data is needed across states. And we talked earlier about there's been a 16% increase in the amount of out-of-state deals that are being processed right now. So you're going to need that data, and you're going to need it at your fingertips quickly. So in summation, like our kind of push on like our number 5 is that you would consider having an electronic solution that allows dealers to continue to process reg and title for customers while delivering an exceptional customer experience. DealerTrack, we have that 50-state solution, or we have a 50-state solution that does that called Reg USA. What this product does is it really eliminates the uncertainty of those unfamiliar state rules and requirements, such as those documents and tax rates, refund check writing, ACH payments, streamlining all the accounting. And the product actually pre-processes the transactions online with an integration with your DMS. We work with all the major DMS providers out there. It estimates those vehicle taxes and fees, provides checklists to you as a dealer so you can gather the correct information for when your client leaves. And then it tracks that deal status automatically and electronically. So Liz, that's kind of my kind of five here that we've talked about. Do you want to give us a quick kind of recap?
Yeah, Jay, but before I do that, one quick thing that I would add that is really important as we're getting dealers up to speed and they're, kind of venturing into this new unknown territory for a lot of our dealers is that they are not only is it important to get familiar with all these new state and federal, these regulations that are
Right.
coming up and changing, but they change all the time. And so what we do as a business
Great
is
point.
really important to keep everything current and up to date. And we do that because we have such a vast network of dealers, and we're processing so many deals that even if something changed on a very small municipality level, we're in contact with those dealers and with that municipality to make sure that we're updating that information and keeping everyone current, and much more importantly, in compliance as things
Yeah.
change. So just a quick recap. It's really vital to provide the finance and the back office teams with an easier way to make the deal accurate and allow it to be finalized quickly for the online car buyer. You want to look for the tools that should be able to do a couple of key things. So reliably create deal calculations, right? Specific to each customer and where they live. Provide your staff the thorough reg and title steps for each and every customer. Support the full car buying processes so that the customer has that positive overall experience. You don't want to have a low CSI score because of the final reg and title stages, leaving them with a poor taste in their mouth. And providing an electronic solution to ensure that you can continue to process reg and title for customers regardless of the status of the DMV. So whether we face future closures or they're not opening in a timely manner, you would still be able to process that and support your customers. So if you're interested in learning more about any of these products that DealerTrack offers, including our cross-border solution, Reg USA, to trade and title solution, accelerated title, and our electronic reg and title solutions that we have available in 15 states, just go to dealertrack.com, or you can call us at 888-346-3087. Thanks so much for your time today. I think this was great, Jay, and I think it was really beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope we've provided some nuggets for all of you out there, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.